Rats. We put you in the middle of the Centaur invasion. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Corporal Kern here, summons you over with some poison. And he tells you, you know what, while the village is under attack, we need to go collect 3 villagers, bring them to the inn. So you notice, like, we place you right in the middle of the action. There's a sense of urgency, there's a sense that, look, you don't do anything, this is going to end badly. Go ahead and collect our first villager, and she's going to go ahead and run to the inn. So at this point, we'll head over to the inn and talk to Sergeant Walters to find out what the next step is. And this, as for a tutorial, this is a little linear, but it definitely gets people into the action and moving along the storyline very quickly. So one of the things you're noticing here is that Matthew's actually dodging. Unlike other games, our combat in Guild Wars 2, you can actually dodge projectiles and attacks. So it really does mean pay attention to what's going on in screen. You can minimize your damage. So we'll head into the end at this point and talk to Sergeant Walters. As I mentioned, storytelling is very important for us. This is an example of a cutscene that we do where we integrate NPC models with your character models to do the dialogue and storytelling.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thacker is calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious, but I can't spare anyone. I'll go. Captain Thackeray's never failed Divinity's reach. If I can help him, I will. Balthazar bless you. That's the spirit that'll win this war. Good luck.
Alright, so we've received instructions that the main garrison that helps defend Divinity's reach and Shaymore is under attack by a Centaur invasion. So we just go ahead and head over there and assist Logan Thacker, who is the captain of the guard. As you run over, I just want to make note. You're seeing the lightning, the cloud, the rain. This is actually part of our weather system, which is something that is entirely scriptable. And so as we do dynamic events trigger off the world, they can also have weather effects. Right now, the gate is closed while they're trying to defend off Centaurs.
They marked the garrison gate, but we need to be ready to move when it opens.
Matthew just showed off is our elementalists can actually change attunements between different elements. You just move fire, which is a very high damage attunement, to water, which is a little bit more defensive and provides healing abilities. It's very important that our skill system be dynamic like this. We wanted to keep it UI pretty clean so you don't have skills populating all over your screen, but at the same time give you a lot of versatility as to what skills you can use. And we do this in Guild Wars 2 by mechanics like elemental attunement, which changes your skill bar, and also with other professions, you'll be able to switch weapons. That will change the first 5 seconds. Actually have to talk to anybody to see any text to hear to find out what's going on. We have a lot of ambient voice work integrated into the game so that to avoid the whole notion of having to read lots of walls of text. Most of the time, we want it to be dead obvious through both visuals and sound what's going on and how you need to help.
have information that you can get about what's happening on the lot.
So we've gone ahead and just keep going ahead. What happened is the event has gone ahead and kicked off. See what happened here in the upper right is you got a notification, defend the garrison. This is our first event. And you see Logan Thackeray and his guards are there to help us. There are ways you see there's the notification, and also you'll see there's a status bar that tells you, how far you're progressing through the event. Now, right now, we're the only players here playing this event. The interesting thing to note about Dynamic Fest is they scale up to the number of people who are playing. We never want people to regret other players coming in and participating in a dynamic event. Likewise, just as the difficulty will scale up to keep the fight interesting for all the players involved, the rewards likewise scale up. So you should never feel that more players actually went ahead and took rewards from you. Everybody who participates in the event will get a reward. And we found that, especially the people who don't actually play MMOs, this is a far more intuitive way to deliver this kind of content. Like we've been doing pretty well against the Centaur, so they've gone ahead and unleashed their champion, mod leader here. And it looks like this is going to be a little tougher than the other Centaurs we defeated today. I'll go ahead and switch back to fire. Alright, see here we went ahead and succeeded in the first chain of the event, which is to defend the garrison. Now we are moving into the second part of the event. Clearly the champion feels that he maybe is a little outmatched, so he's going to go ahead and call for help.
Soldier is a threat. We're going to take it down. Forward!
So who's going ahead and summon this Earth Elemental? Keep in mind, this is all happening before you even hit level 2. We really wanted to make sure that, as you're going through the game and experiencing, even at the early levels, it does have that epic heroic feeling. This is a lot cooler than killing 10 rats. Matthew, that you're dodging and staying out of the way of some of the projectiles like those.
I'm working on it. I'm the only guy out here.
I don't know. I have complete faith that you can take this elemental on.
If there were a few more players, I would like to.
But as I mentioned, this guy is a boss, so he's not going to be as easy as some of the other, opponents we've been fighting. And at the same time, if there were more players here, he'd be even harder. We would have scaled this up. But as it is, it looks like you're doing pretty good.
Not done yet. Brace yourselves.
Alright, well, we did in fact defeat the Earth Elemental, but as a result, we got hit by a piece of flying debris. We're actually going to be unconscious in a field hospital for a couple of days.
What happened?
Goes into this scene.
You were injured when the elemental exploded. Captain Thackeray brought you here personally. You've been unconscious for 3 days. You had lots of visitors. Villagers you rescued, some survived,
So this is an example of, based on the choices you made during your biography, different people would have come and visited you, and she'd be pointing you to go follow up with the different groups that actually came by and talked to you.
What should I do now? Fresh air and exercise are the best medicine. The goddess Dwayna helped you. Perhaps you could help others? Thanks, I will. And thanks for taking such good care of me. Not at all. Shaymar is in your debt. May Dwayna protect you in your travels.